Be so livid if some dude walked into my life and started destroying the beauty that I have spent decades building.
Why don't some women choose themselves? Why don't some women love themselves so much that they avoid being in a kind of situation with a man? Why don't some women love themselves so much that they stay away from relationship that does not benefit them? Why don't they walk away on something or relationship that doesn't benefit them, that is hurting them, that doesn't make them happy? In today's video, we're not actually victim blaming. This is us discussing. Okay, yeah, men are evil. Being in a relationship with a man sometimes it doesn't worth it. But why is it that some women keep on consuming? You know that this man is a terrible person, but you keep getting pregnant for him back to back. You know that he has three baby mama, but you thought you were going to be different. You know that he beats his ex-wife till she got on her life. You married him. You know the kind of person that he is. You know, you can clearly see what is going on. You can clearly see that you're not happy in the marriage, but you still keep, tying yourself down. You can clearly see that the man is financially abusing you, but you're still not working to make your own money. You're depending fully on him. Then later on in the years, you come on and start telling us that you don't have money and you cannot leave him. So this is the conversation we're having in today's video. That why is it that some women do not prioritize themselves, do not choose themselves or love themselves or see these things and just walk away? Let me show you all this interesting video and I'll see you all at the end of the video.
A lot of women actually value their lives very much. I think that they only, like on a subconscious level, I think they only view themselves from the perspective of who they are to other people. And I don't think that they value the originality and like the worth and the value of their lives as sovereign human beings. And I think this must be rooted in like really, really deep lack of self-esteem or self-hatred or just like low self-worth. I don't know what it is, but I can tell that a lot of women don't value their lives because I really value mine, and I stand out in stark contrast to so many women that I have met. Like, I have curated such a beautiful life for myself, and I've worked my ass off to do it. I'm working right now. Like, I'm always working. And I hate that I'm always working. Like, I resent that this is the position capitalism puts us in. But I would rather this type of hard than the type of hard where I have to baby my husband, or where I have to soothe a grown man who never learned emotional regulation, or where I have to shrink because some man is punching a hole in the wall. What? I would be so irate. It makes me mad just thinking about it. I would be so livid if some dude walked into my life and started destroying the beauty that I have spent decades building. Because I value myself, I'm not even about to put myself in the situation for somebody to come in and destroy my peace, destroy my joy, destroy my sensuality, destroy my personality, like destroy my tastes. Like, you will never get the opportunity to do that to my life. And I watch so many women. I'm sitting in the dark clearly because like, who wants a big light, I watch so many women, whether firsthand or secondhand, or whether I'm just hearing about it, seeing it on the internet. I watch so many women allow these men to play with their lives, play with their happiness. And I just don't get it. Like, do you not give a about yourself? And everybody dogpiles on the man, and should. Cool. Everybody's always like, oh, men are so trash, men are so trash. But like, why do so many women care so little about themselves? Does nobody like, I feel like nobody ever like brings this part up. How do you talk about yourself so little that you are willing to put your own pleasure, your own comfort, your own safety, everything valuable about yourself on the back burner for some dude just because he's your boyfriend or your husband? What the were y'all taught growing up? Why are you not so protective over your one life on this earth? Why are you shrinking yourself so that a man can feel like he's bigger than you, smarter than you, a better leader than you, richer than you, more valuable than you? And I don't know, like it really like irritates me. Like why? Why do so many women seem to give so little of themselves? And then they themselves. Oh, I just take care of everybody. Nobody takes care of me. Nobody asked you to do that. And if they did, why didn't you tell them no? You're a grown ass woman. Why are you allowing yourself to get big boyed by everybody in your life? Is that not weird? That's not weird. That's not self-harm. I feel like that's like cutting, but emotionally and socially. And I feel like I don't see a lot of people really talking about this. Like, we put a lot of focus on like how horrible men are and how horribly men treat women, et cetera, et cetera. But I've got to be honest. Why do y'all have such a high tolerance for bullshit in your life? Your life. This is your life. You are your own person. And I guess this like boils down to the infantilization of women. You're a grown-ass woman who can make her own choices. Unless you're chained in somebody's basement, you can make your own choices about who you allow to walk into your space, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And I just don't think that a lot of women make good choices. Why do you make such shitty choices about who you allow into your life? Why are you so flippant about this? Because I'm real serious about it, about protecting myself, about running a strict program so that I don't ever have to pick up the pieces after some piece of shit man walks out on me. Like the whole stay-at-home mom thing. It's one thing if you use a man's money to help you maintain a soft life. Cool. You should not be using a man's money for survival. What? So if he can feed you, he can starve you. You know that, right? And now you bitches, sorry. I'm getting too into it. You get on the internet crying and bitching, scared, because your husband left you and he's taking all of his money with you and you haven't worked in 20 years despite having children in this world. You didn't think it was a good idea to make your own money and stockpile that shit? If your husband pays all the bills, fine. You still need your own money. You still don't want to give somebody the power to take the roof out from over your head, right? To starve you? What the? And I don't know, man. I'm real protective over this shit here. I bust my ass to get here. I'll be goddamned if somebody walks into my life and breaks this shit apart because, oh, I love him. And just to say it in case it's not clear, I don't play with men. Men are our number one natural predator in this universe. There is not a living being on the planet that is more dangerous to a woman of any age, to a girl of any age, than a man. You cannot bring these into your life casually. They overpower us by the age of 12 physically. And to see girls just randomly get pregnant, it's not like, what? Oh, it makes me mad. It makes me mad. Woo! What the fuck do you mean you got accidentally pregnant 3 times? We need to start calling more people stupid. And then like people try to push back on talk like this, oh, you're victim blaming, you're victim blaming. Why did you put yourself in the position to be a victim in the first place? Some victims actually don't have a choice. People who are preyed upon in childhood, yada, 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 yada. I understand the complexities of abusive relationships, but outside of that, outside of just like abuse, you didn't know that he was a liar when you met him? Because he lies to everybody else and you know that. The girl warned you about him before you started dating him and you knew that. His mother tried to warn you about him and you knew that. You're never happy. You're absorbing his misery. His misery is becoming your personality, and you know that. There are real victims in this world. And victimization is a very complex thing, but there's also self-accountability. Why the do you guys keep bringing villains into your lives? Why is it so casual for you to bring these people into your lives like this? Men are dangerous. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get a man out of your house once he's in there? Do you have any clue what it is to tell a man to get out of your bed and he say no? And what do? You're gonna drag him out? He's twice your size. I just do not play with men like that. I take their presence very seriously. They scare the shit out of me, and they should. And to see women just like open their bodies, open their hearts, open their homes to random men just casually. You just met this 2 months ago, now he lives with you? What are y'all thinking? It stresses me out just watching how women conduct themselves in this world, because you guys have the survival skills of a 2-year-old. And I watch so many women allow these men to play with their lives.
You know, as someone who also spent a lifetime choosing myself and choosing my happiness and choosing my peace, women like us often don't understand the wiring of women who choose a constant cycle of abuse, of neglect, who continues to choose men that abuse them, that lie to them, that cheat on them, that have babies on them, that help create a miserable life. And do you see often what those women do? They make more choices to entangle themselves deeper in that situation. Let them go. Majority of women will always blame the world programs us, the world conditions us. At what point? And there is always a point where there are no more excuses.
Yeah.
None. There is a moment in our lives, most of the time when we are young. And that is designed on purpose, because I fundamentally believe humanity is extremely flawed. I mean, children can get pregnant. Humanity has an extremely design flaw, extremely difficult design flaw. But there is a pivotal moment in all of our lives. Think back on your life, because I remember the exact moment when we decide to make choices in this life. It opens up a ripple of an infinite amount of additional choices that you can make. But when you are young, often there is a moment in time where you have 2 choices. 2 choices is a lot of pressure, because those 2 choices only give you about 2 paths that you can take. And every choice between those 2 choices, it can send you on a trajectory that makes it more and more difficult to come back from. This is what these women are doing. Every time these women make a choice that digs them deeper into a hole, women will be getting abused, get cheated on, get pregnant, and keep the baby. Sabotage. And then they'll blame conditioning. We all been conditioned. When you are young, it is at that moment that you choose the grand trajectory of your life. For me, that was at around between 18 and 19 years old. Specifically 19. I was raised in an extremely religious household, extremely patriarchal. My parents are actively extremely religious. This is why I keep a lot of distance and time between them. When you are young, you are extremely malleable. You are extremely susceptible to conditioning and programming. And that is why I believe humanity is extremely flawed in design inherently. And it's just facts. At this point, it's not even a belief. There is no excuse why a 9-year-old should have the ability to get pregnant, why her body should have the ability to carry a baby. None. The universe allows it, because the universe does not care about the confinements of human morality. What time in your life, what was that pivotal moment? This is something every woman, every person really, but particularly every woman, scan through your life. Most of the time, this decision, in my opinion, is probably in your teenage years, where you choose the grand trajectory your life would go. My parents were so heavily religious and so heavily patriarchal. My entire life, I was bombarded with programming about men being the superior beings, men being the leaders, men, to the point where my parents did not even let me go to college initially. They didn't let me go to university initially, and that was something I always wanted to do since I was a little girl. I didn't identify with the moms and the kids and the white picket fence and the husband in the movies. I identified with the woman in the penthouse living by herself, driving a luxury vehicle. That's what I identified with. I didn't identify with the mom with 2 kids and a dog and a picket fence in the suburbs. No. But our parents often see, of course, we're babies. We don't know any better. So the adults around you will see your light and they will try to stifle it. Maybe they don't know they're trying to stifle your light. They think that they're trying to help you get to heaven. But there comes a time. So my parents wouldn't let me go away to college, and I turned my life inside out, upside down, because I was so angry and so depressed. Now, at the time, I didn't know that's what I was doing, but I was extremely self-destructive because I was angry that they were clipping my wings, that they were stopping my dreams. But I chose anyway. My parents forced me to go to a 2-year college, which I never wanted to do. But as a kid, as an 18-year-old, as a 17, I graduated from high school 17. As a 17-year-old, what choice did I have, right? I was fully dependent on my parents. It's like, oh, well, we'll let you go. Because my parents fundamentally believe you are supposed to leave your house, start having babies, and then have kids. So I remember my parents trying to compute. Your parents are human. Your parents are people raising kids for the first time. I remember my parents having discussions about whether they were righteous or unrighteous. These people believed that they could possibly go to hell if they let me go to college because of what that Bible said. They are people. So I released them from the anger and all of that. Doesn't even need to be a conversation anymore. But I released them because now I step into my power. I don't sit around and blame my parents. I take my power back. If that means creating time and distance between my parents, if that means never seeing them, never showing up for holidays, never showing up for birthdays, that is what you get. That is your punishment. It would be a punishment on me to harbor that kind of anger to the point where I'm making my life miserable. This is what women do. They don't want men to, I done been with him this whole time and fixed and repair him, even though you still fucking miserable. And I don't want another woman to get all my work. That's ego. That ain't nothing about that man. This is what women do. There comes a point in your life. Think about when that point was where you made a huge decision. Mine was to turn my life inside out so bad that my parents had no choice but to let me do what I wanted to do. I was in love with a boy. During those 2 years, I was in community college. And I had to choose myself. I broke my own heart. I cried many tears. I cried and I took my black ass to college. And I even called him while I was in college. That was the moment. That was me choosing myself. At 19 years old, a time in your life where you are one of the most vulnerable moments in young adulthood, from teenagehood to young adulthood. Life is a setup. It's not fair. We all are conditioned. Stand up. Because those of us who choose ourselves, those of us, had I chose that other option, had I chose that man, that would have completely altered my life. And I knew that at 19. I sat in my car at 19 years old at my job. And I said, if I choose him, I'm going to end up in Bumblefuck, North Carolina, pregnant. I'm going to be stuck. I'm going to be trapped, and it's going to ruin my life. And I knew that because I liked him too much. Make the hard choice. Teach your children how to not follow the crowd, how to listen to their intuition. I cried a long time over that choice, but I cried and I did what I had to do. Had I not made that choice at 19. So when women don't make the hard choices, the sooner you make the choice, the easier it is to make. Had I stayed, it would have gotten increasingly harder. Let them go. This grace is not for women. Women will always find an excuse to stay in hell. This grace is for you. Save yourself.
I feel like it's going to take a lot of work, but I know it's possible. Yes, we've been conditioned to be like this. So it's going to take a lot of work to fight it. And for me, I don't think it's a snap. I feel like it's a process. It's step by step. You start, decentering them before you realize, or you start loving yourself, then you decenter them. Like, I just feel like it's a process. It is not just, you just wake up one day and boom, you're choosing yourself or something. I just feel like it's a process. And yes, we keep using that we've been conditioned because we've actually been conditioned. Every woman has been conditioned to please men in a relationship. And that's why sometimes when a woman is being too delusional in a relationship, sometimes I just want to blame her. I just, still blame the men because I'm like, well, sometimes you still need to see the things that the men are doing to you that you're not supposed to allow the man to continue to do something like that. So you're supposed to stand up for yourself. You're an adult. There's some things that you do not allow. And when it comes to relationship with men, for me, I feel like these men test women. Right. And that is why you see some women say, oh, when I was with him for the past 5 years, he never treated me like the way he's treating his new girl now. Right? They kind of test you and see what you're going to take, what you're going to allow in the relationship. If you start allowing it from the beginning, that is how the relationship is going to go, and that's how they're going to treat you. So they always try to push some things and see your limits or how they can actually treat you anyhow. So if you allow it from the beginning, that's how the relationship is going to continue playing. If they cheat on you and you forgive or you ignore or you don't care or you forgive, right? That's how the relationship is going to go, right? If they demand something from you and tell you, I don't want you to work, I want you to be a stay at home mom, I don't want you to have friends, I don't want you to be on social media, and you accept, that is how the relationship is going to go. So I just feel like there's some things that you're supposed to handle by yourself as an adult that does not. I believe that it's going to take a lot of time for some women to choose themselves and all of that because of their background and everything. While it's going to be easy, a little bit easy for some other women to choose themselves, right? Regardless, it still takes time. It's a process. So yeah, and I believe that this 2024, a lot of women, some amounts, people are beginning to choose themselves. Women are beginning to understand that every all this old thing does not make sense. So I just feel like this 2024 was a process. Birth rates was dropping. Women are choosing themselves. Some women are, walking away from relationship that does not suit them. They are not looking back. So it's a good year. So I feel like 2025 is going to be better. It's going to be great, way, way better. And I feel like more women are going to start seeing the light, in my own opinion. I just feel like more women are going to start seeing it. It feels so good to choose yourself. It feels so good to love yourself. If you choose and love yourself, if you just love yourself, I just feel like when you love yourself so much, you will not tolerate a lot of things from people, from anybody, your parents, like you're going to just, and when you love yourself, you want to make yourself happy. And because you want to make yourself happy, you know that you're the one that can make yourself happy. You be work hard, okay? I don't understand why some women would just stay and they just feel like, oh, because my man pays the bill, I don't need to work. Do not gamble your life like that. Don't gamble your life like that. You need to work. You don't trust these people. You don't trust them. Even in as much as there's one paying the bills, make sure it's that you're stealing. You're stealing from them. Oh, yeah, yeah, like you just have to have your own money. You have to have your own thing so that when things, you're gallant because these men know what they're doing. Especially when they're the one paying the bills 100 and they see that you don't have your own, they will always financially abuse people. They always financially abuse the women that they are, they always do it. It's like it's a normal thing. They always do it. Just go check. A woman that she's fully dependent on a man, they always financially abuse their woman. Always. If you don't do it now, they'll do it later. Anyway, guys, what is your take on this video? Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mara Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in to this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.